Like, who gives a damn about Survivor Series? CM Punk is back, son. Like, what? CM Punk is back. Okay, we're going to get to that later. Let's actually go through the actual card, which is going to be a quick one. It's going to be a quickie. First of all, let's talk about the women's War Games match, which I said in my predictions that it was going to be match of the night. And for me, it was. It was match of the night, which wasn't really hard to do. But it was match of the night. But that's the only thing I got right, because I did not have Belair, Flair, Lynch, and Shotzi winning this match. I didn't think they was going to go that route. I really did not think so, especially after they won last year at War Games. I didn't think they was going to do that, but they did. And you know what? They were right. They went it right about. I thought they were going to do the whole story of Bayley, who's been having turmoil. Well, like, we can see it, but we can't see it. It's like like racism. We know that the turn is coming. Like, we know Damage Control is eventually going to turn on Bayley. We're just waiting to see when it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. We're just waiting to see when it's going to happen and how they're going to do it. So, in my eyes, I'm thinking, well, they're going to have Bayley probably not do anything in the match, be in a cage by herself and watch Damage Control control the whole match, and then Bayley comes in, almost messes everything up, but then get the pin at the end after doing nothing. That's what I thought they were going to do. They did the exact opposite. I'm not going to lie. It was very effective. I mean, outside of Charlotte with the moonsault off the cage, doing her best Kurt Angle impression, you know, I saw a meme, a Drewski meme, where someone says Cody Rhodes somewhere right now, mad as fuck. Like, I want to do the moonsault off the cage. EO doing the same spot she did a couple years ago on the NXT with a trash can off the top. I still don't understand how you have the eggs or the ovaries to do something like that. Like, that is insane, to put a trash can over your body, over your head, on top of a however tall cage, then leap. Oh, son, pay her more than what you're paying her right now, Triple H, bro. Holy shit. But then Bayley comes in and is the goddamn MVP of the whole War Games. She started off for Damage Control. She damn near controlled the whole pace of the match. And then near the end, every time someone would get close to getting beat, she stopped the pin. Like, she was a goddamn MVP. And I'm like, God dang. Bayley, go ahead, Bayley. Hey, I want some Bayley. Hey, I want some Bayley. Ooh, I want to know, will you be my girl? Like, bruh, what a perfect way to do this match, where Bayley stops every pin and then takes every finisher after that. It gets a man slam through a table and takes the pin. So even though she damn near carried Damage Control throughout the whole match and helped and saved everyone in the goddamn match, she took the pin. So now Damage Control has a reason to be like, you're a loser. We want you out of here. Like, bro, all of us are anticipating that Bayley face turn, man. Like, we haven't seen Bayley face in 5 years. And now we know it's going to be different, because she's not going to be the happy-go-lucky ponytail hair Bayley. It's going to be a completely new Bayley as a face when it happens. I'm really hoping they have enough balls to keep the title on EO till WrestleMania and have Bayley win the Rumble. I am hoping they have the balls to do that. I have a little bit of hope because it's a Triple H-led WWE, and so he might have the faith and confidence in EO and Damage Control to be the true faction on SmackDown. Because let's be for real, Bloodline ain't doing the goddamn thing. Roman don't want to show up, which I'm gonna go on a rant about that later in the video, about goddamn your tribal chief, tribal my ass. But we're gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, Damage Control is damn near what's saving SmackDown right now in terms of a storyline. And we're all waiting for the time to where they're going to turn on Bayley and hopefully get this Bayley face turn and wins that title at WrestleMania. I hope they do that. And We just got to wait and see. I'm not getting my hopes up because WWE has had a lot of gold mines and storylines that they ruined. So we're going to see, but I'm really hoping we get that. At worst, we know we're going to get a Bayley face turn. We just know what's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. It just all depends on how they do it. So, but yeah, the good guys won this one. The good gals won this one. I have no idea what they're going to do from here with Charlotte and Belair. I'm hoping she turns heel, actually. Wouldn't that be crazy if they did a double turn with Belair and Bayley? I would love that. Well, I don't know, but I watched a press conference to where someone asked about what's going on with Jade Cargill, and Triple H gave a PC answer of, we just want to make sure that she has that she's fully developed and is ready for whatever's thrown at her. We don't want her going out there lost in the sauce, you know what I mean? Which basically what it tells me is that her as a wrestler is not up to par, and we're waiting for her to get her wrestling skills up before we just throw her out there. We're working on her wrestling skills. That's what that tells me, right? But we'll see. Jade Cargill, we'll see what happens with her in 2024. But yeah, great War Games match from the females. Might be their best one they've had, even on NXT, maybe. But yeah, great War Games match. That was followed by a very solid match between Gunther and The Miz for the IC title, which we all knew that at worst, Gunther was going to pull a three-star match out of Miz. At worst. Because Gunther is the best in the world. And he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. No debating. Better than, I don't even know who you put up there. I guess Macho, Jericho, Ricky Steamboat, I guess are like heralded as the greatest. Maybe even Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, nah. Gunther is the greatest IC champ of all time. And I'm ready for someone to beat him for it. I'm not complaining. This is not a Roman Reigns situation because at least Gunther is there every week. At least Gunther is having great matches and having different types of matches every week, unlike your Tribal Chief. We're going to get to him in a second. But yeah, Gunther and Miz had a great solid match. They told great psychology with Miz trying to work on the legs and fighting back after Gunther kept beating him down. And he had I was hoping for one hope spot to get me to believe Miz could win. And when Miz took the turnbuckle pad off the turnbuckle and did a low blow to Gunther, and then gave him another low blow that made sure it connected, then the skull crunch finale, I'm like, no fucking way. No way they're going to have The Miz beat Gunther and hit the 1-2 kick out at like 2.5. I'm like, holy shit. That's all I wanted really out of this match, and I got that. Like, it gave for a split second, even though we all knew Miz was not going to win, for a split second, we thought, this motherfucker going to win. So, yeah, that's all I wanted. Again, great match. The ending was kind of weird. He did a weird frog splash, which was on Miz's back, which didn't look like it really connected. Then he followed up with a Boston Crab, a high Boston Crab. I forget what Jericho used to call that, the high Boston Crab. But yeah, and Miz tapped out. So again, Gunther, what I love about Gunther matches is none of them ever end the same. He is not no Roman Reigns. He actually can wrestle a different match every time you see him, and he can finish the match a different way every time. Like how you finish versus the match that ended versus The Miz is not the same match that ended versus Drew McIntyre. The match that ended versus Drew McIntyre is not the same match that ended versus Chad Gable. Like he keeps finding new ways to win, and versus Sheamus versus Drew and Sheamus at WrestleMania. Like, bruh, he is truly the best wrestler in the world, man. I can't wait for him to go towards that world title. And I hope it's soon, because this IC title reign is getting but I'm still liking the run though. I'm just waiting for him to go towards the world title, which he deserves at this point. But yeah, that was a good match. I think it was followed up by Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee replacing Carlito, which we all thought, okay, there's going to be a Lucha Underground 205 type of ROH type of match, and it wasn't. It wasn't. Santos has just turned heel. This match suffered not only not having enough time, but also suffered, I remember when Shinsuke turned heel on AJ Styles, and even though I wasn't thrilled by the WrestleMania match at 34, I thought after that, they were more worried about telling the story than actually having a wrestling match, and I think that was the same here. Same way I felt about AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. I don't know what happened. That AJ Styles title reign from 2017 to 2018, we gotta talk about that because that was I don't know what it was with AJ. He just wasn't AJ. But one day we might talk about the title reign. But yeah, this match seemed to never really get out of like second gear. Like it was getting into second gear and working towards getting out of second gear, but it never got there. But it was still an okay match. It was a great SmackDown match or a great Raw match. For a pay-per-view or PLE, not so much. But it did what it had to do to get Santos Escobar over more as a heel, even though he didn't do any real heelish things. He just dominated for real. So we'll see where we go with that. And hopefully they got something in store for Santos for WrestleMania, which I don't know if Ray is going to be healthy by WrestleMania, so don't really know what the plan is for him, but hopefully it's something. And then this was followed up by Rhea. And actually, before we even get to that, so throughout the night, they were teasing that Randy Orton isn't here, and Sammy is talking to Jay, and Jay talking to Seth, and Seth talking to Cody like, where's Randy? Randy's not here. Where's Randy? And Cody's like, trust me, he'll be here. And this was very risky. So we got Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks, which I thought also had a chance to be match of the night. And even though it was very good, again, I felt like if they gave Zoe Starks more of something, like if it gave her more character work, if it gave her more of a storyline going into this match, I think we really could have got into this match because Zoe Starks did her best. Like she did all her moves. It's a little sloppy here and there, but she was working her ass off, and so was Rhea. And the crowd could never really fully get into it. And I couldn't really fully get into it because we all know that Zoe wasn't going to beat Rhea. And this is the problem with these title matches, is that almost for every title match outside of Seth's title, we all believe that nobody's going to beat the champion. Like nobody believes that Roman's going to get beat to WrestleMania. Nobody believes that Rhea's going to be beat to WrestleMania. Nobody believes Gunther's going to get beat to an extent to a major pay-per-view. So versus a certain opponent. So it's kind of difficult to get into these matches. And I'm really hoping that we could find a way to revitalize the women's division soon, to where from Zoe Starks to Shayna Baszler to even Nia Jax, like we could get these women over. Xia Li, I really hope we could get these women over so that anybody can look like a contender. So we'll see what happens, but we're just not there yet. Still a work in progress. And unlike Vince, I know that Triple H is not going to give up on it. He's going to continue to work on trying to get these women over. And I know eventually the cream will rise to the top. I know that. So, and now on to the main event. We got the men's War Games, the main event, Survivor Series 2023. And it started off with Finn Balor for Judgment Day and Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, on the good guys side. And this was a very solid match. I think the whole Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso storyline did not really pay off. I think one, because they literally just wrestled last week on Monday Night Raw for Drew to give Judgment Day the advantage. I think that is the one critique I have, is that if the selling point of Drew being on Judgment Day is he wants to get his hands on Uso in a cage, would it have not made more sense for them not only not to touch on Monday Night Raw, but to start off the match to where the good guys come out first and Jey Uso is the person to start in the cage, so then Drew automatically comes out and says, oh yeah, I'm going in the case first. I only care what you're talking about, Priest. Now, would I not have made more sense so that you pay off Drew's heel turn and the reason why he joined the Judgment Day? I just thought that story that wasn't really a factor in the War Games. The only story that there was really, even though they were trying to tell Cody versus Seth, that dissension, that didn't really play a factor. Even so much Drew and Priest, they were trying to tell that story of them having tension. That didn't really play a factor. Everything about this men's War Games was based around Randy Orton, which I understand because I was thinking about it when they did not announce him for on Raw. They alluded to it, but they didn't really announce him. I'm like, it would kind of be a waste to have him come out there and then just be in a cage. And I can't see Randy Orton starting off the match at War Games. So I'm like, how do you do that? How do you get that big pop and capitalize on that big pop of Randy Orton returning? And again, WWE know what they're fucking doing because this is the most ingenious way of doing. After everybody was in the match and we're all waiting for the one person to get into the War Games, they do the countdown and they're waiting for Randy Orton to come out and he doesn't come out. And then Rhea Ripley's music plays. And she has a briefcase and they have a referee. I'm like, no. A lot of people were making fun of, what if Priest try to cash in War Games? Would that not be a crazy thing to do? Literally all of us said that. And they almost did it. I'm like, no way. No way they're doing that. Ain't no goddamn way. This gotta be setting up Randy Orton. And then Randy Orton messes up the cash in. I'm like, that is goddamn genius. It's goddamn genius. Because by distracting you with the whole cash in, you get that major pop when you hear I hear voices in my head. They come to me. They understand. They come to me. It's like, oh yeah. Randy Orton is... It's like, it's just genius the way they did that. So they were teasing Randy Orton not being there all night. And it kind of overshadowed the War Games match, in my opinion, to where everything was about him returning. So I didn't really care about anything until he returned. And he looks jacked. Like, what's that one wrestling game to where everybody is yoked up? It's not Legends of Wrestling. I forget what game it is to where everybody is goddamn super duper yoked and fly in the air. I forget what video game that is, but like Randy Orton is jacked. Like, do you understand? Like, Vince McMahon probably creamed in his pants. Like that. Randy Orton clearly was in the gym from his 18 or 19 months off. Like, he clearly was in the gym most of those days. Cause holy shit. But Randy Orton comes in like a house of fire, teases doing an RKO to Jey Uso, which I'm like, they're teasing it, so it ain't gonna happen. Like, if you're gonna do RKO, you're gonna do it out of nowhere to where you can't even see it coming. So, and they also were telling the story of Jey Uso being like, he ain't coming because of me, man. Like, I'm the one that was part of him being out for a year and a half. So I'm like, well, I guess we're not getting a Randy Orton heel turn because they're talking about it and alluding to it. So almost guaranteed not to get a heel turn today. So I kind of hated that as well. I kind of wanted more suspense about Randy Orton doing the heel turn, but he didn't do it. He helped. He helped Cody's team get the victory. But they did who was JD McDonough and Seth Rollins were on top of the cage, and who else was it? I forget who it was. It might have been Sammy. They flew JD McDonough off top of the cage so Randy Orton could do a catch RKO. He didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it. I mean, he's been gone for a year and a half. Like, his timing was a little bit off, but it was all right. And then Cody Rhodes did the Crossroads and 1, 2, 3. And so then they do the whole logo, and then they do the fade out. Like, not the fade out, but the zoom out. And everybody was just listening and watching like, I have to make sure he's not coming. Like, for those that are NXT Black and Gold fans, we all know just because you see a logo does not mean the show is over, folks. So we're all just waiting and anticipating like, he ain't coming. But what if? He's not coming, but what if? and then they zoom out, and they talk. Michael Cole's talking about the press conference, and then I'm like, oh my God, oh Dios mío, what? No way. They zoom in towards the entranceway, and they wait a while. I'm like, and part of us is like, it might have just been me, but I'm like, oh man, they're gonna have like Austin Theory or like, who's the other guy? Grayson Waller come out, and I'm gonna be pissed. But then he comes out, I'm like, holy shit, it's really him. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's really him. Like, no fucking way, it's really him. Like, nah, for real though. Like, it's really him. Like, we're not dreaming this, right? Like, this is real, right? Like, this is 2023. This is 2023, right? And he's in a WWE arena. This is real. I'm like, no way. So, I'm gonna talk about this more in another video. But yeah, CM Punk is back. This is the major story coming out of Survivor Series. I don't know what to expect. I don't have, the thing about this one is I have no expectations. Like, I had expectations when The Rock came back, and I was somewhat disappointed with the story versus Cena. I had expectations when Edge came back, and I was disappointed with how he was utilized for those 3 years. I have no expectations for this one. I had expectations with Cody Rhodes. I was disappointed because he didn't finish the story at WrestleMania. Talk about finishing the story. Holy shite. Talk about finishing the story. Huh. After being gone almost a decade. Walking out on a company that said that you said made you sick. That made you sick. That didn't appreciate you. That wasn't taking care of your health. Wouldn't give you no days off. And now he is back. But I still can't believe it, man. Like, he's back in sports entertainment. The same guy that just did a promo 2 years ago saying that he left the sport of professional wrestling and then came back to the sport of professional wrestling in AEW, only to get fired and 2 months later come back to WWE. Like, I don't think we've ever experienced anything like this. This is not even like when Hulk Hogan came to WCW or when Lex Luger came to WCW, or I don't even know what you can even compare this to. When Jericho came to WWE, like, there's nothing you can compare to this. I don't think we've ever seen a top guy who was still active, still somewhat in his prime, come back like this. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. So I don't know what to expect, and I'm not getting my hopes up, man. I'm just going to enjoy the ride, bro. Pause. Like, I'm not getting my hopes up. I just hope that we get to get it. We hope to get a majority of the Punk that we got in AEW, in terms of on screen, in terms of his promos, in terms of his wrestling. I hope that we get that. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be full-time, part-time. Is this short-term, long-term? Who knows? I'm just here for the ride, man. I'm just here to see what's finna happen. So I'm just gonna try to enjoy it, and hopefully WWE doesn't ruin it. So that's my thoughts on it. Again, I have a video following this that's gonna go more in detail. But let's talk about Roman Reigns, right? Because I remember when Cody Rhodes went into War Games, right? He was the last one. Well, no, he was the second last to go into the War Games match. And I'm thinking about, man, this guy, after everything he's been through, is still the goddamn guy. After losing at WrestleMania, really having nothing to do for the past 7 months, it's still over. It's still the most over thing in the WWE. I'm like, holy shite. And I'm like, imagine if you just would have put the title on this guy at WrestleMania. Like, it just, and I was thinking, like, I did not really think about Roman Reigns at all. Like, at all. Outside of that slight moment when Cody Rhodes went into that War Games match, and I'm like, this guy should be the guy with the title right now. He is the guy right now. Why does he not have the title? Oh yeah, I forgot. Roman Reigns is at home, sitting his ass at home. Here's the thing, man. I said this before. I have no issue with Roman Reigns being on vacation, taking a leave of absence, doing whatever. And this is not really on Roman. This is more on WWE and WWE management. If he's going to be at home, if he has a contract to where he could be at home, get the fucking title off of him. He is not, I don't see I do not see in any way how you can justify him being the world champion still. How can you justify it? He is not out after WrestleMania in terms of solo matches. He has not had one incredible match. His match with Jey Uso was meh. It was okay at best. His match with LA Knight was meh, okay at best. He continues to have the same matches night after night. He doesn't even seem to want to be there. He doesn't wrestle at all. Like, why is he here? Like, he's becoming Hulk Hogan in WCW during the NWO days. Like, again, if he doesn't want to be here, that's fine. I'm never complaining about someone not wanting to be where they at, or negotiating a contract where they ain't gotta be there. But if that's the case, take the title off of him. It serves no value. He serves no value to the title at this point. He's more important than the title at this point. Take that goddamn title off of him. Like, this is insane. You have a world champion, the most important championship in your company, and the guy does not want to be there. He's not working on a movie. He's not working on a book. He's just wants to stay at home. Again, if he wants to do that, fine. Take the fucking title off of him. Like, it's that simple to me. I don't understand anybody that is cool with this. I had the same issue with Brock Lesnar. I don't understand how anybody could have been intrigued by, outside of maybe their first year of seeing Brock Lesnar as a champion. Because just like Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, the same thing. Has the same matches. Looks like he doesn't even want to be there. Doesn't even wrestle weekly. Like, what's the point of this guy being the champion? So, I did not miss Roman at all. Like, this time last year, everything was centered around Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. And it was must-see TV. They ran WWE. Like, they ran SmackDown. The most important storylines were about them. Like, War Games with Sami Zayn officially being ingratiated into the Bloodline, turning on KO and being hugged by Jey Uso after Jey Uso gave him a hard time. Like, what happened to that? Where's that Bloodline? Where's that Roman? That even though he wasn't there every week, he at least was somewhat present. He at least wanted to show up to your big four. But he doesn't even want to do that no more. I'm like, you got complacent. He's gotten lazy. And the thing is, it's not like the past 3 years he just became the guy. This is the same guy that was forced down people's throat for 6 years. People didn't even want to see this guy for 6 years. It was forced to be the main event after main event after main event after main event. And the fans kept telling Vince and creative and management, this is not the guy. We do not want this guy. Yet he still was pushed and still buried and went over everyone. This is damn near, what, a decade? We're going on close to a decade of him being the guy, and only was over for 3 of those 10 years? And he has the nerve to not want to be here. But again, if he doesn't want to be here, give up that title. Like, I just don't get it, bro. Like, Roman Reigns, man. At one point, I thought this was the greatest storyline. The Bloodline was the greatest storyline of all time. At one point, I thought this might have been the greatest run we have ever seen in WWE history. But it's not that no more, man. I can't believe you have guys like, and Cody Rhodes had an interesting question that was asked of him, and he said, what's your thoughts on being on this team of Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins and Jey Uso and all these guys, to where all of you are over? It's like the goddamn Avengers. Everyone is super over. And Cody Rhodes like, yeah, it's a trip, man, because for the first time in years, You can't point to everything and be centered around one guy. Everyone is over. From Jey Uso to Sami Zayn to Seth Rollins to me, everyone is over. When's the last time you could truly say that? Not even mentioning Roman, not mentioning LA Knight. Like, you have superstars from Rhea to Becky to Charlotte, like Bianca. You have stars, man. Now, when's the last time you could truly say that everyone is damn near the top stars, the top tier guys are over like that? And at the same time, and it really got me thinking, bro, that is right, because for the longest time, at least for the past decade, 15 years, the company has always been centered around one guy. Whether it was Cena, whether it was Roman Reigns, whether it was Brock Lesnar, whether it was Triple H. And now you have a era to where everyone is over in terms of who are the top main eventers. Everyone is over. Everyone is doing their damn thing and doing their part. You got Jey Uso with the heat. You got Seth Rollins, even though I don't care for his character, he seems to be over with the crowd with his interests and his outfits. You got Sami Zayn, who people really want to see win that title. Cody Rhodes waiting to see win that title. LA Knight, who got organically over overnight. Like, you got all these different things. It's like, it's great to see. And now CM Punk is back. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you have all this going on, and I could care less about Roman Reigns. So, yeah, like I said, I can't wait for the day that Roman Reigns loses that title and we can move on and tell new stories and have other guys hold the torch. Have Cody hold that torch. Sami Zayn hold that torch. LA Knight hold the torch. Gunther hold the torch of being the face of the company. So hopefully that day comes sooner than later. Hell, even CM Punk, we'll see. If this is a long-term thing, maybe CM Punk will finally get the torch of really being the guy. But yeah, that was Survivor Series War Games, and I'm telling you, it was a solid event. Out of 10, this was a solid maybe 7. It was okay. But the last 10 minutes of this goddamn event, holy shit. From Randy Orton return to CM Punk's return, this is now gonna go down as one of the most memorable events in WWE history. Like, nigga, people are not gonna forget this, bro. So, yeah, that's my review. Let me know what you thought about it. What was your favorite match? What do you think about CM Punk coming back? What do you think about Randy Orton? What happens with Randy Orton now? That's another thing. I didn't even think about it. Again, I'm anticipating him to turn heel. I don't know when he's going to do it, or if he even will do it. But I'm like, I expect him to either turn on Cody and have him occupied to Royal Rumble, or turn on Jay. Maybe even go for the title versus Seth. Who knows? But man, I still can't believe Punk is back, bro. That is insane. Punk is back, bro. Holy shit. But like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things are the things. Welcome to the High Bitch, your hardcore casual fan. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
I'm the best. I'm the best in the world.